How you doing? This is Dr. Ed Gray doing my thing, as always, in the community, doing my thing. Today, I didn't travel too far. I was in Grand Prairie, Texas. Woke up in Grand Prairie, feeling pretty good. Decided to go over to the Epic. You know, this is an epic decision for me to go to the Epic because I want to talk to you about something I heard and read last night. Governor Greg Abbott, Governor Greg Abbott of Texas. He decided that he was going to go ahead and cut funding, public safety funding, if I'm not mistaken. Public safety funding meaning you're going to cut the funding that goes to the police departments and to the fire departments, that type of thing. That's why they call it public safety. So right behind us is the Epic, and I just saw a whole bunch of kids come in and go into the Epic because they're doing that thing. So everyone's chilling. The Muslims decided that they were going to go ahead and hold a party as well. So they were going to hold a party, but what ended up happening is that, the governor decided to pull the funding for this place and any other place that will be using public safety money from the state of Texas, meaning Grand Prairie wasn't going to get paid. So Grand Prairie wasn't going to get paid, so they told the Muslims to back off. We're going to cancel your event because we have to get paid. Another way to use that would be saying that the governor is putting forth a policy that I believe, I'm going to say it straight up, that's extortion, man. Straight up extortion. It's hard politics, though. Politics being what it is, that's politics. But for a person on the streets, as I am right now, it's called extortion. So extortion being involved in this, I'm just like taken aback by the whole thing that this governor is doing. Now, if I was in a classroom, I would go ahead and give you some kind of political reason why he did that. If I was in court, I would give you a legal reason why he did that. If I was in a classroom, I would give you an educational reason why he did what he did. But as I'm here on a bench corner, as I am here right here on a park bench, I'm gonna just say extortion. So extortionist that he is, he's picking on people that he can pick on. And the easiest people to pick on right now seems to be Muslims. But it seems to be that this is a trend that's going on that's happened for years now with Muslims. I would say go back to 9/11, I guess. But now where we're at now is that Muslims, they don't get a break in this. They just don't get a break. Example, and this is the reason why I'm here. I'm a human rights activist, That means anything involving the rights of humans, I'm down with it. So this is not for Facebook posts or someone like, oh, by the way, go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube page, Ed Gray, the Commission Radio. Now, we're back done with that commercial. So now, what I was told by an individual, a Grand Prairiean, who said, well, you're just doing this because, well, you just getting a Facebook like, and it's not about that. I have a human rights doctorate. What the hell else you think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna talk about human rights. So human rights. Muslims have the right to access public places. Sound kind of funny. Now I can insert that and make it black people have the right to access public places as well. So I'm looking at this whole thing, and the reason why I'm feeling a kindred spirit about this is because now I'm seeing this whole thing as if this was 1965 when they took away the Voting Rights Act. It was signed in 65, and we're going to roll back to 1965. They would be doing this to black people, saying we're going to take away public funding. If you allow a desegregated facility, we're going to take away your public funding. Greg Abbott would have did that. Straight up, he would have did that. If this was 1965 and we had the rules being that what they were then, and we just signed the Voting Rights Act, he would say, if you are going to go ahead and desegregate your places of business, we will take away public funding. That's exactly what he's done right now with this situation in Grand Prairie. Now, let's go ahead and look at some other things that have happened. work with me here. I know you probably already know this stuff already as it is. Well, Muslims again, and I care about CAIR, C-A-I-R. You should look that up. Look up the acronym C-A-I-R. It says C-A-I-R. It's an organization that's outlawed in the state of Texas. Yeah, that's right. That's right. So they say this Muslim organization, CAIR, is an outlaw organization. What other outlaw organizations have there been in the state of Texas? Wait a minute, let me look down. Wait, yep. NAACP. I dropped my NAACP card. The NAACP card. Yeah, that's right. Did you know that the NAACP was outlawed in the state of Texas in the 1950s at the Brown v. Board of Education? Brown v. Board of Education, they outlawed the NAACP in the state of Texas. They had the Texas Rangers to come downtown and downtown Dallas and raid the NAACP offices and shutter it down. Yeah, that's what they did. That's the same way they're doing with CAIR. They outlawed CAIR, C-A-I-R. Well, when I found out about that, you know what I did? I went to CAIR because I cared. So that's what's happening in Texas. It's a whole nother country, right? A whole nother country, but it also represents white supremacy and Christian nationalism. Christian nationalism is what we're dealing with as well. So we are living in a country in which we always state that everyone has freedom of religion. Well, I guess it's depending upon how free you want to be if you go ahead and exhibit your religion. So the Muslims went ahead and decided that, okay, fine, we're going to do what we do. We're going to go ahead and we're going to open up and buy some property in a part of Texas where there's nobody at. There's not developed. There's nothing around. And they decided they were going to go ahead and develop a housing project, community project, business project. Whoa, they decided to put up a mosque. Okay, that's like a church, right? And guess what? The people in Texas came unglued. Get a rope. They decided that, no, you can't have that in front, or you can't have that. You can't have that. It's called Epic City. Not to be confused with the epic, but it was an epic failure of morality in the state of Texas for Texas, the Texas government, led by the same individual I just mentioned, Governor Greg Abbott, who wanted to close down Epic City because he said they were going to go by Sharia law. Hey, really? When is this going to end? Perhaps it'll end when we 6 feet under, right? But if you're a Muslim in the state of Texas, if you're in Farmersville, Texas, then you have to go ahead and battle the city of Farmersville in order for you to get an approval for a cemetery. Yeah, that's right. Approval of a cemetery. Approval of a cemetery. Why be damned? You can't go swimming. You can't have a shopping center. You can't have homes. And you can't even die in the state of Texas. Well, you can die, of course, but you can't be buried. Why? Well, the reason why is very simple. It's because we're living in a time in which we are not being tolerant of other people's beliefs. We are living in a time in which we are not tolerant of other people's beliefs. And it comes from the top. And when I mean the top, I don't mean Jesus, because of course this is a Christian country, right? The top does not mean Governor Greg Abbott. No, it's much bigger than him. It's Donald J. Trump. Then it goes to Greg Abbott, his governor. And then it comes to the streets. On this park bench where I'm seated at, tying all the loose ends up so you will understand what we're dealing with. The answer got to come from above. I'll see you guys later on the Commish Radio Show. And take care.